All right, we're going to do a little video. There was a post on Facebook the other day, and the difference was between a BSB shock and a Bilstein shock, okay? And I'm only responding to the post, and I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just trying to explain to you what I feel like is the difference from our end, okay? So this it isn't about what they do, it's about what we do. So a lot of the response on there, and it was coming based off of mod lights. Okay, so a lot of response on there was there's no difference. The difference is in how the shock's valved. Well, that is a difference, but that ain't the difference you're looking for. Okay, because if you take a shock that doesn't fundamentally perform, it doesn't really matter how good the valving is. There's going to be times in track conditions where that shock's not going to perform well enough to get the job done. Okay, maybe a valving deal, but it may be an inherent problem in the shock. Okay, just because the shock's moving or transferring oil doesn't mean it's making valving. Okay, without valving or pressure differential changes, you're not making grip. So grip comes because of that, not because we're moving oil from one side to the other, but because we're creating activity in the valve. Okay, so it's very important. Okay, so the difference, there's physical difference, but the difference is on the inside, okay, and it's the piston. So just because, here's a good example, just because I got a heart and you got a heart doesn't mean they're the same. It doesn't mean they're the same, pumping the same kind of blood. I might have high blood pressure, which I do. So, but it's not pumping the same. It's not moving fluid the same as the other shock. One difference between is a bore diameter difference. Okay, it's not much, but there is a bore diameter difference. Ours is bigger, and that allows the pressure at the same amount of weight to be less. Okay, now I don't think that's the significant difference, but that's one difference. Another difference is this has a hone tube. So the tube here is very straight and very round. Okay, this allows us to have our wall piston to wall clearance closer, which allows for less bypass, which allows our low speed to be up easier. Okay, we do a surface treatment in there to keep the heat down. We use a pregnated wear band. So it's a Teflon bronze coated pregnated wear band. This allows for less stiction, okay, which keeps the heat down. So we get a good sealing surface. We don't build heat, and the valving don't change. So this is some of the difference. Now, another difference is in the divider piston's movement. Okay, how easy does the divider move? This makes feel for the race car, also makes grip for the race car. Okay, so our divider moves very freely in the tube. There's not problems with it getting stuck. And in order to make a small move or a series of small moves in a move, the divider must respond pretty quickly to it. This makes grip. So I feel like there's issues in the divider piston in every shock, and I don't feel like we have them fixed, and it's going to be tough to fix. So the one thing I know is the divider piston needs to move freely. Ours moves freely. It's a guided smaller O-ring divider, so we're trying to run it straight in the tube, and we're trying to keep the stiction on that O-ring down to a minimum. So the divider works, I feel like, better, which allows the piston to flow or transfer oil through the valve, and I feel like we do it better. In some cases where we're just a 30-30, we're not ring shimmed, which I feel like is maybe a little disadvantage, but it doesn't require a ring shim to get to the valving. We're bled through the shim stack, which keeps activity in the shim stack, which makes grip. So these are some differences, not just the valving, because there's guys out there that valve Bilstein stuff very well. My competitor does a very good job of building shocks for mod lights, and he valves them very well, okay? He has his own program, and I feel like he does it very well. We compete against him all the time, and his guys beat our guys, and our guys beat his. So there's a difference between this shock and the yellow one, and it's not just the valving. Okay, so valving's important, but the internals, first, this must function properly. If this doesn't function properly, you can valve it any way you want. You're not getting there. It's not going to work for you. So function properly, must function properly. I feel like that's what we did. We fixed problems that we found with the shocks and made them work better. And over time, we've got the track record to prove it. So get on our website, look at our wins. Look at our national champion wins. And probably haven't documented them as good in Mod Lights as we should have. But if I'm missing somebody, please let us know, because I want to add you to that list. There's 43 some people, national champions, on that list in a 10-year time frame. So in shocks. So that's why we do what we do, because we want to win races. So is there a difference? Yes, I feel like there is. Is there a valving difference? Sometimes, we valve ours the way we valve ours, and I don't care how anybody else does it. It's not important. I just know what we do, and we're tying down the fronts of these cars. We're making them turn. So there's options out there. That's why they're out there, because some people like us and some people don't. So it is, that's what we do. So that's the difference between our shock and theirs. Of course, we're threaded body, which I think helps the shock run a little bit better, because thicker tube and there's less tube deformation. So that's another thing that's going on. So we didn't even discuss that, but just a little bit about the difference between our shocks and theirs. So thanks, and if you got any questions, call the shop, 620-326-3152. Help us grow by subscribing and liking. Give us a little thumbs up and help our channel to grow. So if you have any questions, call us. Thanks.